Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dongsheng. Reuters reports that on Tuesday, Japan's new government signaled on a more assertive position on China's aggressive posture towards self-ruled Taiwan, suggesting it would consider options and prepare for various scenarios while reaffirming close U.S. ties. Taiwan and broader relations with China are likely to dominate the security policies and foreign relations from the outset of new Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's administration. In recent days, Taiwan has reported 148 Chinese Air Force planes flying into the island's air defense zone, and the Taiwan government leaders have said it needs to be on alert for over-the-top Chinese military activity. When asked about the Taiwan situation, Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi said he hoped both sides can peacefully resolve the issue, but he added, "Instead of simply monitoring the situation, we hope to weigh the various possible scenarios that may arise to consider what options we have as well as the preparations we must make." Motegi's comments on Taiwan was different than the past by explicitly speaking of possible involvement. Doing so, analysts believe, is to draw international attention to the issue and pressing China. Robert Ward is a London-based senior fellow for Japanese security studies at the International Institute for Strategic Studies. He said, "The change in the way Japan was articulating its concerns about Taiwan was significant." He said, "It is drawing a line of sorts and thus creating expectations. This fits with Japan's broader push to balance China from a position of strength." Prime Minister Kishida told reporters earlier he had spoken to U.S. President Joe Biden for about 20 minutes, and they had confirmed their regional security cooperation. Kishida did not mention Taiwan in his comments to reporters, but said, "We also affirmed that we would work closely on challenges that this region faces with regards to China and North Korea." How far would Japan go to defend Taiwan? In 2015, Tokyo adopted a less restrictive legal interpretation of its right to access collective self-defense. Now Japan is able to support the U.S. military outside of Japan. Last May, Japan scrapped its 1% GDP cap on defense spending and increased its national budget to $51 billion to include the purchase of more stealth fighters, missile systems, and warships. The country is building up to a fleet of 147 F-35 stealth fighter jets and is retiring its 5 F-15Js, which are now reaching end of life. In particular, Japan is planning to equip 2 Izumo-class helicopter carriers with the F-35B, giving Japan the ability to project power around China. In 2020, Japan launched the first of the new Soryu-class submarines, planning to buy 22 in all. These are diesel-electric submarines and the first to use an advanced lithium-ion battery. These submarines also have hydrogen power packs, enabling them to stay submerged for much longer periods. However, if Japan were not directly attacked, the Prime Minister would still need to determine the situation prior to providing assistance. The recent Japanese statements appear to lay the political foundation for making such a determination if Taiwan were attacked. Tokyo has reportedly been studying possible military responses to a conflict over Taiwan, including releasing a dispatch order to protect U.S. warships and military planes. Japan would also provide logistical support and conduct transport and supply operations to U.S. forces. Since 2019, Japan and the United States have conducted strategic planning and combined exercises in the South and East China Sea in preparation for a possible conflict with China over Taiwan. One former U.S. official said the eventual goal was for the two allies to create an integrated war plan for Taiwan. In this year's annual defense white paper, Tokyo emphasized that the stability of the situation surrounding Taiwan is important for the security of Japan and the stability of the international community. Japan must pay close attention to the situation with a sense of crisis more than ever before. This is the first time that the stability in the Taiwan Strait appeared in the white paper. Beijing was obviously agitated and visibly so. In perhaps the most reckless threat ever made, China has threatened to nuke Japan continuously if Japan supports the U.S. in protecting Taiwan from a Chinese invasion. It is the first time ever that any state with a nuclear weapons openly threatened a non-nuclear state with a nuclear attack, and not just any nuclear attack, but a massive and a continuous one. The threat was in a video originally posted on a military comment channel on the Chinese video site called Xigua, watermelon. It was soon removed, but 2 weeks later, it has reappeared on a Communist Party channel in Baoji, a major city in China's northern province of Shanxi. It was later taken down. Despite Beijing's threat, Japan continues to man up. Although Mr. Kishida is from a traditionally dovish faction of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party (LDP), he tacked to the right as he campaigned to become party leader. Kishida has said that acquiring the ability to strike enemy bases was a viable option, and that he would appoint an aide to monitor China's treatment of its Uyghur minority. The fact that Mr. Motegi, along with the Defense Minister Nobuo Kishi, were kept on in the new cabinet indicated a focus on strong security ties with the United States. Mr. Kishida created the post of Economy Security Minister, filled by Takayuki Kobayashi, an official who helped to craft policies aimed at protecting sensitive technologies in supply chains and cyber security from China. Japan is drawing a red line around the Senkaku Islands, known as the Diaoyu Islands in China. This is a disputed territory. Japan is pushing back at Beijing's military posturing and setting the stage for a potential showdown. In an exclusive interview with CNN, Defense Minister Kishi said the Senkaku Islands are unquestionably Japanese territory and would be defended as such, with Tokyo matching any Chinese threat to the island ship for ship and beyond if necessary. In that regard, Tokyo has the United States as a key ally in its corner. Tokyo and Washington share a mutual defense treaty, meaning the U.S. is obligated to defend Japanese territory. U.S. President Joe Biden reaffirmed that security commitment shortly after his inauguration in January, with a White House statement specifically mentioning the Senkakus. Japan has conducted bilateral training with the U.S. and multilateral training with other partners, including France, the United Kingdom, and Germany. While lining up partners, Japan is also improving its own arsenal, including developing and acquiring weapons systems that can strike areas well beyond the Japanese territory. Xi Jinping often said, China has never and will never invade or bully others or seek hegemony. Many countries don't buy that. Japan is one of these countries. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly.